Hey everybody, welcome to Love and Reload, the voice of the relocation industry. I am your host, Ben Cross, and I'm so blessed and honored to be here with my good friends from the Wisconsin ERC, Matt Tobel, Huntington National Bank, Rebecca Glatzhofer, Crown World Mobility. How are y'all doing today?
We're doing amazing, Rebecca. I'm not trying to speak for both of us, but how are you?
Matt's speaking for you, Rebecca. You're now doing amazing. Forget how you were feeling before. You're doing amazing.
Good news. I am amazing. So that's amazing.
We're aligned. It's important to be aligned as a board, right? That's great.
Yeah.
It is. You know,
this
all
is
the opinions.
so exciting. Yeah, this is so exciting, though. Hey, everybody, get in the comments if you've been to a Wisconsin ERC event, if you're a member, if you're looking forward to it, if you've got questions about what the heck goes on up there, throw it in the comments. We're here to answer all of your questions, talk a little bit about the history of the association, talk about kind of the schedule of events and what people can expect, talk about maybe some of the charitable causes and interests that y'all support. I hope.
Yeah.
I think this is where we're
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you're doing such a great job.
I am. I know. I tend to over talk on these things a little bit, so just cut me off whenever. Stacy, what's up? Hi, friends. Can't wait to see y'all. Are you all? Can I still bring y'all to the Wisconsin ERC?
Sure.
Absolutely.
We'll take you as you are, Ben.
Thank you very much. I feel seen. All right, Stacy, looking good there. Let's see who else we got here. Gabby, go Matt, go Rebecca. Love to see you at Wisconsin ERC here, and can't wait to hear about MRC 2022, the hashtags and everything. Hit that like button. I want to talk about this because actually this to me seems very timely. So maybe can we just not bury the lead? Can we just hop right into what everybody's thinking about and talking about right now? We are what feels like less than a month away now.
You're correct.
From
We're 3
MRC
weeks out.
2022. So what is MRC 2022?
So MRC 2022 is a super conference. It's the Midwest Relocation Conference. It's 3 associations: St. Louis Employee Relocation Council, then also Corporate Relocation Council of Chicago, and Wisconsin Employee Relocation Council. And we combine all of our forces, like the Justice League, to put on an amazing event. In the last 2 years, the event has actually been postponed because of COVID. So we're super excited that it is in Milwaukee, and we have an amazing location. It's the Westin Milwaukee, and we have just jam-packed so much educational experience, networking, and the social experience. And we're kicking it off with a Wisconsin Employee Relocation Council hosted social hour from 5 to 7 on Wednesday night when people are starting to get in. So, it is
Hosted.
timely.
I want to just real quick translate what hosted means for our less refined audience. Okay. That means open bar, doesn't it?
Sure does.
Ding, 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 ding.
Okay. For our service providers out there who don't speak corporate, that means open bar, y'all. So get there on time. No, but that's awesome. It sounds like a heck of an event.
Yeah, we're so excited. And I'm actually in the process of learning with Liz Martin, who is on the Corporate Relocation Council board, with Jennifer Breen and Rebecca that's on this call. So we're all working together as mentors, mentees, and co-chairs to try to bring this great conference to everyone with a lot of different perspectives that are all brought into it. And we're super, super excited that there's an educational piece, but there's also a huge social piece to it. We have a Thursday night event, and at all of these regional events and conferences, people kind of like go out and do their own thing and invite people to dinners and kind of all just decentralize. And this one event is one I've always loved because the Thursday night event that we put on, everyone is invited to. It's completely complimentary. It's included in your conference package, and it's a live music. There's food stations. There's just so much going on. And Bella Kane, which has apparently a huge following with all of our members. So,
Yep.
Can
Rebecca?
you tell me more about the food stations and Bella Kane, please?
Yeah. So burgers, walking tacos, pizza, snacks, cupcakes, open bar. So all of those, really terrible things to have to manage through, plus networking with your friends. Bella Kane plays country music, top 40. They're going to be live. They are a fantastic band with a huge following. We're so excited to have them. Downtown Kitchen is a really cool. Does cool make me old? My teenagers.
No.
That makes
well,
me.
I say I think we're like the same age, so I say no, and I'm probably wrong. So
that's all right. We can be wrong
no
together.
idea.
But it's a really cool vibe. There's going to be a photo booth, and I'm just so excited about it. It's been a couple of years since this conference has been able to go on, and we've really packed everything in it. We're even doing yoga virtually in the morning so that people who want to clear their mental space and get ready and get some exercise in, that's going to be hosted as well. So there's an app where everything is located to tell you where to go, what to do. TRC went ahead and sponsored that for us. So we're really excited that they built it out. It's really cool.
Awesome. So you got an app. Virtual yoga is the only kind of yoga I do. So this is exciting for me. We've got food questions already coming in. Leave your questions. Jodi Harris says, cheese curds? It is Wisconsin after all.
Obviously, we can't come without cheese. We're having absolutely a cheese board.
Jodi, we'll have cheese curds waiting in your hotel room.
Don't you hurry.
I love it. I love it. This is great. Put your questions, put your comments in the chat here. If you've been to a Wisconsin audience poll here, okay, get your emojis out. If you've been to a Wisconsin ERC event, I want you to get into the comments and I want you to tell me what kind of emoji would Wisconsin ERC be. If Wisconsin ERC was an emoji, tell me what kind of emoji would it be. Throw it in there. We were having a pre-show debate about this. This just seems like a real low bar for everybody. They can just hop right in. This is great. Hit those like buttons. I want to know from you what everybody is thinking about out there. I'm excited about Midwest Relocation Conference. I went to one in Chicago a few years ago. Had a lot of fun. Okay. I'll be honest with you guys. I'm on the fence about this year's. I'm on the fence. I've been traveling a lot.
Yeah.
Well,
How
I have
can you
great
convince
news
me to
for
go?
The Thursday night event is literally located walking distance by the hotel. There's a skyway that attaches it. So you'll travel there and then you're done traveling for 2 days. So it's actually perfect for you.
Okay. So if you have too much travel, you can just go there and just be good. You're going to walk. Okay. Very good. And then Rebecca, if you were to convince me, if people are on the fence out there and they haven't yet registered, what's another reason maybe that they should consider going to the Midwest Relocation Conference?
Really, really excited about the programming as well. I mean, everybody loves a good party, and we know that everyone wants to do that. But also, this has been a huge transformational time in the industry. What's great to keep? What's important to learn new? What are the different perspectives of it? And so we have a programming team that's been working really hard with new, fresh ideas, things that people are talking about that are relevant. Pam Jacknick, who's joining us later, and Erica Burton have been spearheading that. And it's really very thorough. And there's a lot of different viewpoints that are exciting to hear. So I can't wait. There's a couple of sessions that are back to back, and I don't even know which one I'm going to attend. So I might sneak back and forth, which is not allowed, but I might anyway.
And the keynote session is going to be great. We have 3 amazing economists, and it's going to be based on just really the economic happenings right now, which there's a lot going on.
There's a lot of happenings.
And we have an awesome moderator for it. He is part of Milwaukee 7, which is they helped bring economic opportunities to the Milwaukee area. And he's spoken at a couple of the Wisconsin Employee Relocation Council events. And we're really excited to have Jim come and moderate that session and just definitely bring a local perspective to some of the stuff that we'll be going in on for that hour and 15-minute session.
I love hearing economists because they're so smart. I come and do this show every day and I just give you opinions that are based on hearsay, but then when you get these economists up there and they have a slide presentation and they got stats and they actually cite their sources, it's a whole new level.
Trying to do the prep calls for that, I literally invite them and I'm sweating. I'm oh my gosh, it feels
like a college class. Yeah. Did I study for this? We've got people chiming in here. This is beautiful. People are coming in with their emojis here. Francine here. That's great. Look at that. Love, coffee, fire ideas. I can't tell if that's just a big grin. That's great. Stephanie. Yep. Cheese. Love it. Maybe a couple brewskis there. Cheersing. That's great. I heard Rebecca said view pint earlier. I thought that was a Freudian. So that was a really
Definitely.
Amy, awesome. Francine here. Yes, lovely. Gabby. I can't wait to see Gabby. Gabby's so amazing.
She is.
I'm super
Gabby
stoked about
actually
Gabby.
recently joined our board. She's one of
Really?
the co-chairs for programming, and we're so excited to have her. She is just always sharing such amazing information and just different viewpoints on all the stuff for LinkedIn. So, I mean, it's just been really great to get to know her a little bit better, because these boards really allow for you to do that. But also just having her perspective as a corporate now service provider in the immigration space, it's been really great having her be a part of it.
Yeah, for sure. Here she chiming in. There will be incredible panels. I have 3 notebooks ready for all my notes. Yeah, I'll talk about studios there. Look at that.
Gabby and Nadia are also kindly spearheading our charitable cause for MRC, which will be the humanitarian effort for Ukraine. So we're doing 50-50 raffle and $10 to wear jeans on Friday. So they've been really kind and to take that on and make sure that it's going to really helping those people on the ground that need it. We're really excited about it.
We are.
Well, sign me up for that. What do you go buy tickets or something? How's that work?
You can buy it through the app, or you can bring cash. And same thing with the jeans. You can donate the $10 in jeans through the app, or you can do it in cash and come on and wear whatever you want.
There's a portion of the website too for MidwestRelocation.org that is set up for the charitable cause. So it makes it easy for anybody to look how they can donate, or if they want to participate through wearing jeans and donating the $10, or however they want to contribute. We just actually added that last night. So thank you, Jerry, for working on all of our marketing efforts. But Nadia and Gabby and Jerry really pulled that together very quickly. And we're super excited to be able to help where we can.
I love it. Gabby, come find me and I'm in for $100 on the 50-50. There's the link in the chat there. Gabby's put it there. Mentioned the fundraiser, huge initiative. Go check out that MidwestRelocation.org. Hit that fundraiser. That's awesome. Let's see here.
Speaking of charitable causes, I wanted to say, if I had to throw an emoji in that chat right now, I would have put the Mrs. Claus emoji, because Rebecca at our ugly sweater December event and holiday event always dresses up as Mrs. Claus. And it's because of our charitable contribution at the end of the year, which she can talk more about, but that will forever be, it's like in the month of December, that's like always in my most used emojis, because she dresses up as Mrs. Claus.
That's beautiful. Rebecca, tell us about the charitable causes that y'all support.
So at the holiday time, we have for the last few years been supporting the Women and Children's Horizons. And what we do is we ask them what they need. And these are people who have left unsafe situations, and they are currently in housing provided by the organization. And they've really left most of everything behind in fear for themselves and their safety. And so they really just have what they have. And so they have a lot of need. They're living in a shelter. They typically have young children that need coats and shoes and socks, clothes that fit, things that are warm, especially here in Wisconsin in the wintertime, it's cold. And if you have to walk to school and you don't have a pair of dry boots that fit, that's a problem. And so what we do is we work with the shelter and we get a list. We ask them what they need and try to meet them where they are. What are your needs? What would make this useful for you? And so then they come back to us with a list. You know, we need a girl's size 10 pair of snow pants, or a coat, a warm coat, hats, mittens. I could really use some grocery gift cards, you know, whatever that is. So I take the list and then we share it with our members who are so generous. They come and say, give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people. I will take on their Christmas list. And they really do it to the nines. They make sure that these people have absolutely everything they need. It chokes me up all of the time because we are so lucky. Like, I think a lot of life is hard work, yes, but it's also a little bit of luck. And the truth is that right now we're real lucky. And our members show up and they support these people who are not in the same situations. And in fact, I don't think I'll ever forget in my whole life. This year, it was reached out to me and said that one of the families that we supported were able to take the grocery and the gas gift cards, as well as all of the warm clothes for their kids, and they were able to save that money. And then they were able to put down a deposit on an apartment 6 to 8 months earlier. So they took their kids out of this shelter that is kind of like a college dorm, if you will, right? It's a room, it's safe, it's wonderful, but it's not a home.
Right.
And they got to give their kids a home. And we did that. And it is absolutely amazing. So grateful.
Wow. When you hear that kind of story, it's so moving. I can see you're getting emotional. I'm getting emotional listening to that. I mean, you know, and when you tell the story and you think about, I mean, we were all a kid, and many of us have children of our own, and what that must mean to that family. And the fact that we have that ability to make an impact, I think we should never forget that.
Yeah.
We should never forget how powerful we are, you know. Matt was talking about the Justice League over here, you know. I mean, we really do have power to actually be able to impact people's lives for the better. And, you know, as much as we have fun coming to these events and having some cheese curds and some brewskis, you know, and talking to each other, it's really wonderful what you guys do to help people. So thank you so much for that, Mrs. Claus.
Thank you to everyone. They do
it's
so
a
much.
superpower that she has packing that car for the kids afterwards too, because I don't know if I want to say the superpower is packing the car or being able to see around presents while she drives to the shelter, but it's uncanny, that's for sure.
That's wonderful. Look at Francine Dresty. Rebecca Glatzhofer has such a huge heart. Love to hear more about this and the impact. Beautiful. Erica Burton. Hey, family.
Hey.
What's up, Erica? Good to see Erica. Look at this. Stephanie's checking in. This is so cool. Giving the little emojis. This is fantastic. If you have questions, put them in the comments. I'd love to know what your questions are for our Wisconsin ERC folks, whether it's about Midwest Relocation Conference, whether it's about the Wisconsin ERC. Put them in the comments. We also have Jodi Harris and Pam Jacknick coming up in the second half of the show as well. Stephanie says, will the donation opportunities be made virtual to those who cannot make it to the in-person event but still want to contribute?
Yes, absolutely. So Gabby, it looked like she pinned the place on the website that you can contribute. So that would be fantastic. We'd love it.
I'm assuming this is it probably, right? So
yep,
Stephanie, hit that.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Hit that right there. And is it too late now to register, or when is registration closed for Midwest Relocation?
No, registration is open. So you can register if you're a corporate or a program manager. It's complimentary also. And there are there's a transition registration open as well for anybody that may be in between jobs right now that is less expensive than the general registration. And the hotel block does end today. So get it in. Rebecca has extended it legitimately like 7 times now. So it's a great rate for the Westin Milwaukee. The hotel is beautiful, but registration is definitely open. So please sign up. And yeah, I mean, if you're a corporate, there's a corporate benchmarking that's from 8:30 to 11 on Thursday. It really kicks the conference off. And you can come in there and it's completely free for your organization to register for this conference. And we haven't had a corporate benchmarking in a while for the Wisconsin Employee Reload Council because of COVID. We've tried to do some virtual things, but it's one of the first ones that we're hosting, and we're really excited. And Erica Parkhurst on our board and Jodi Harris that will be on are both spearheading that with the Chicago and St. Louis liaisons too. So we're excited about it.
All right, so I'm going to have to book my hotel at the Westin. I'm going to register to come.
Woo!
I'm excited. You guys convinced me. I'm in. I was on the fence. I'm in. I'm done riding the fence. Today's the day. The hotel is going to be booked up, so I got to make sure I do this right after the show. I'm gonna hop on there and register. Jennifer Rodriguez, hi friends, so excited for this.
Hey Jen.
Hi, Jen. We were
Jen,
just
what's
with her.
up?
We were looking at some places for the joint event with Jen.
Let's talk about the joint event.
Okay.
Tell people about the joint event. What is the joint event?
Well, the joint event is a collaboration of CRC and Wisconsin ERC, and it is a great networking opportunity. It's one of the larger functions because it's two councils in unison that is generally in September. And, you know, we're trying to plan something really fun, something really different, and we have to keep our lips sealed a little bit about it, Ben, but we're planning on it being in September, and we're really, really stoked to be able to get both organizations together and really kind of emphasize that social component with the educational part that people are really looking for right now. I mean, as the part of this board, I mean, we always go through and get everyone's opinions on what we think we can bring that's of value to members. And with the learning that we could do at Midwest this year, our February meeting was just really a networking opportunity that was in downtown Lake Geneva. And we all got to go during their Winterfest. We saw snow sculptures. It was like 0 degrees. So I do feel bad if anybody got like frostbite, but we warmed them up in a restaurant over lunch afterwards. And it was awesome. In last June, when barely anybody was doing anything because of COVID, we did a Milwaukee downtown tour. So it was a walking tour with Nuance and Milwaukee. They're two organizations that really know a lot of the company.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So I know.
So I got a question. I got a question for you, Rebecca, about the joint event. Okay, because I've always loved the joint Wisconsin ERC CRC joint event, and I've always known it as the Lake Geneva event.
Yeah.
Is that changing, or is it still going to be in Lake Geneva, or is it going to take on new? Is it going to be somewhere else?
Well, we're working on somewhere else. Again,
Okay.
We can't quite speak just yet, but our fingers are crossed. It's really great to shake things up. I think Matt said it best in a newsletter that he shared yesterday. And COVID has given us an opportunity to step back and really take stock and value in things that people loved and were great and should be continued. And it also gave us an opportunity to step back and provide some fresh perspective. So I'm excited about it. I'm excited to do something new. I'm excited to, kind of shake things up. Matt and Betsy, who is the president of CRC, they really have a lot of push to be fresh, and it's exciting and invigorating.
Matt and Betsy, that's a fresh duo right there.
It is.
Yeah.
That's a shake it up duo. Right
It is.
there.
It's great too. I'm sorry. I think hadn't had some connection problems over here.
We see you now.
Okay.
Right. So I don't know when I jumped off, but as I just caught up with Rebecca, I think that doing some of the different stuff with the Milwaukee tour that we did last June, and doing like February in Lake Geneva with the snow sculptures and offering social networking opportunities along with some of these different educational sessions where we can put them in is a great way to get people to know each other. And we've actually noticed that there's a lot of newer people that are coming to our meetings where they may be earlier in their stages of career development with mobility. And that's really encouraging because it gives them an opportunity to kind of meet people for who they are and not like what their title is or not what their company or what their company is really like doing for program management or anything like that. There's a lot that we've gotten for feedback where this is what we want to see, and the way that you guys can put social interactions out there is one that, like, I don't know. I think that we always try to fit education so much around what we do. And we forget that at the end of the day, the education can happen with networking and making the connections that we have. And I think that that's really important to remember, that the people you meet are educational use, and the people that you meet can be used later on to reach out to. So trying to focus on that is something that I know that Betsy and I have talked about. And it's fun to just switch things up, like Becca said too.
True or false? We were banned from Lake Geneva because of my Ignite session.
False.
Okay. All right. Let's dispel that right now, everybody.
Dispel.
Okay. That is not what happened. I was starting that rumor. Okay. That's not what happened. That's not what happened, actually.
And if you're going to start a rumor that I'm like tall or something.
Yes.
That's a good one.
Rebecca's tall and I'm canceled.
Yeah, so tall.
All right. Here we go. No, well, this is cool. I'm excited to see how y'all shake it up because, you know, it was something that we did for a long time, but I can see what you're saying as well, right? I mean, you know, we did the cooking classes a bunch of times, you do the same stuff, and I painted a bunch of pictures and I'll treasure those forever.
But
you know,
now you can sell them, right?
Well, they'll go up when I die. I'm sure they'll go up in value when I die.
I think it's important though too, because I've been lucky. Crown has been wonderful and empowered me to go to these things and continue my education and continue my networking. They found value in it. But I think by changing it up and allowing both of these to blend, it will allow other companies to empower their people to be able to attend them too, because we learn so much from each other. And I think that that's really a great part of it that is a little bit not as tangible. And so people don't see it as much as I would love.
Yeah. So then do you see I know you can't tell me, but I am pressing a little bit. Right?
Yeah, you are.
Because I'm a journalist.
You're a journalist. I love it.
And so do you foresee the location being more central and more closer to, say, either Chicago or Milwaukee?
Well, one thing I will add on that is we have definitely had it in the same location for a while now, and we're having this super conference that hasn't happened in 3 years in Milwaukee. So we've already got this huge event that's happening this year. And so if there was 1 year to kind of switch things up and try something new, we definitely took that into account. And that has definitely been something that is in feedback that we needed to look at, that it was always a little bit more of a venture for some rather than others. And we're taking everything into account with that. So it would be a little more centrally located, like you're asking, and we're really excited. And it's not like us to keep our mouths shut.
No, not at all.
It's
very hard.
This is so hard.
It is, but we don't have anything that we can share yet.
No, it's fine. Well, we're excited. We're all very excited about it. If you're excited about registering eventually for the joint conference in the fall, it is going to be in the fall, right? Still fall?
It's in September, yeah.
Time frame? Okay, great. Wonderful. I'm excited about it. So that's awesome. Hit that like button. I want to know what your questions are. Look at this. We got Erica. Erica just right up front. Just Erica and me are both like convince us. Eric, Erica's gonna be a rebel zone, but
Erica to MRC or CRC, because girl, you're helping plan MRC, so I need to tell you.
Why should I attend?
And I just saw her post something on Facebook about Kringles. So I don't think we need to convince her to come to Milwaukee or Wisconsin for anything else. You've already convinced us how much you love it, Erica.
Right.
Look at this. Erica's saying MRC. She wants to know why she should go to MRC.
You're helping plan it. That's like
Not only should you be there, you need to be there at 7 a.m. at the registration desk, stuffing bags. You know the deal, girl. Come on. Jennifer's calling me up. Ben, you did not attend last year. I better see you in September. All right, girl. I'll be there. Don't worry about it. It's hard. It's hard out here when you're paying for your own travel. It's hard out here. Okay.
And you know what? There's still also some dates that are on that Wisconsin website. We already have our December meeting planned, and we already have our June meeting planned, which is, I'm always going to call it Miller Park. I don't necessarily know all the ins and outs of baseball, but we as a board put together one heck of a meeting at American Family Field. That's right, Rebecca, right? That's the new name.
Yes.
And it's a baseball game and it's educational sessions, which it's one of my favorite meetings of the year too, just because they're like, it's just such a local scene. Like everyone is having so much fun there. And after the education, you get to experience what Milwaukee is like at a baseball game.
Matt, who's not incredibly sure what inning it is, or if it's a touchdown or a field goal, or maybe if it was a hole-in-one. If you sit next to him, prepare for some fantastic questions. They bring me so much joy.
Matt, I would love to see a ball game with you. I would be so thrilled.
The story is that Jen Breen and I drove up there, and I was answering some emails on my phone, and we were apparently halfway through the game. And she said, just let me know when you want to leave. And I said, well, when this thing starts, like, just like, let me know. And she goes, we're like in the second inning.
We were in the 7th inning, for the record.
When this thing starts, let me know.
I thought it was like practice.
Let me know what time.
No just thought we'd get out there 2 hours early to show support, right? Just the solidarity.
Right.
Yeah.
That's baseball does have that effect. I mean, I've slept through my fair share of baseball games before.
People were still like seating themselves, and there were like field trips happening. I don't know. I thought that everyone would sit and like watch it at the same time. Like, I don't know. Like
it's a Broadway play.
This is great. We got some great comments coming in here. Sandra Claire, is it me or is Matt Tobel everywhere these days? Clone alert.
Hey.
I was cloned.
Yes.
I believe that.
I'm about to get cloned tonight. I'll tell you what. Jamie says, I've had back-to-back conference calls, another coming up. I want to wish all my friends happy St. Patty's Day. Happy St. Patty's Day, everybody. I wore my green today. Y'all wearing any green? You got any green on over there?
This is technically green, but it's very dark in here.
Super technical. That's a very technical.
I'm like, let me put this ring light up.
There you go. There you go.
That's a classy green. That's too classy of a green for me. I don't know.
And that shine on my forehead, man.
Little powder. Can we get Matt some powder back there? Let's see here. Amy's saying, anyone going to MRC that's taking the CRP exam in May would love some group therapy while I'm there.
Ooh, that's a great idea. Amy, you should put that in the app. Start a chat so anyone who's on the app can join you and you guys can talk about that because there's a room for that.
Very good. Good point. I like the crowdsourcing of information and therapy. Christina great. Swang, I missed the summer baseball game. It's only day of the year I'm a Brewers fan unless they're playing the Cardinals. Wow, it's about to get crazy in the comments here. Matt thought it was a practice. This is fantastic. People got some Rizzo going on. Jennifer Rodriguez, can you talk more about the educational sessions at MRC? Do you have like maybe kind of a rough one of those, or should we wait till Pam comes on to talk about it?
Pam is the perfect person.
Pam, we don't want to steal Pam's thunder,
right?
Jennifer, it's hang in there, Jennifer. We're almost there. We're almost there. This is exciting. I'm in. I'm convinced. The longer y'all talk, the more conferences I end up registering for. So I'm in April for MRC.
Awesome.
I'm in wherever the heck Matt tells me to show up to in September. I don't even know how I'm agreeing to this. I don't even know where I'm going. I'm just like,
we're
Matt.
You to it though, just so you know,
sounds
like
good.
You're not getting out of it.
Right.
Yeah.
This is recorded.
Yeah, exactly. But we have people that want to know more about the sessions and the actual education here. So now that you've got all my money, I want to bring on our other guests here, okay, to tell me what I bought. All right. So tell me what about the educational sessions. So let's bring out, Rebecca, this was fantastic. Matt, this was great. Can we bring out Pam Jacknick and Jodi Harris? See y'all later.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, Jodi, what's going on? Hey, Pam.
Hey, Ben.
What's going on? It's good to see y'all.
Good to see you.
Great. Pam Jacknick, NEI Global Relocation, Jodi Harris, Grant Thornton. So good to see y'all, friends. Welcome back to the show. I'm told now. I've been convinced. I'm going. Yes. Okay. Yes, I'm going to MRC.
You are. Yeah.
But what am I going to learn? I'm eager to learn. I have obvious gaps that I need to fill with information. So Pam, tell me a little bit more about, these educational sessions. People want to know.
We have, honestly, as in years past, I think this year is outshining all of the past years. And I don't know if it's because we haven't seen each other for a few years. So we've had all this brain power stored up and coming up with all these creative ideas. But we have 6 different sessions that individuals can attend. So you get 6 CRP credits. And then a 7th for any corporate members. Actually, they would get, I think, 2 or 3 because of the length of their corporate roundtable. So amazing sessions. And they range, Ben, from Matt shared about we have a keynote speaker trio, I'll call it, 3 different individuals that'll be speaking from some major banking institutions. That'll be really insightful. We have our corporate roundtable, as I mentioned, and then concurrent sessions around renter programs. We're seeing changes in, as we always have, in rental assistance and what are companies offering for that. So Francine and Allison are leading that session for us on rental programs, and whether it's pandemic or whether it's change in the dynamics of quick moves, whatever it may be, they're going to touch on that.
I love that. You know what? And I keep hearing, we talk about a lot of topics on the show, and one that keeps coming up is the renters. And our corporate folks will tell us that they feel like renters are a very underserved population within relocation programs. And then our industry has been really built around homeowners and their big, juicy household goods shipments. But we haven't really been thinking as much about the renters. So that's awesome.
Exactly. And, we found that, you're right. In history, we found that policies maybe differed, or the level of employees differed based on whether you're a renter or a homeowner. And that's completely, of course, we all know that's completely contrary in today's day. And Francine and Allison are really going to hone in on that amazing session for us. Then we have immigration. Gabby, I call her the queen of immigration, is going to lead our immigration panel. So, she was on the corporate side. Now she's such a wonderful leader there with Envoy, and she has an amazing update session, not going into tax, just immigration. And with what we're going through today, what's happening around us, this could not be more relevant and more time efficient for us to be talking about that.
Yeah, so for sure. Jodi, from your perspective, as our corporate representative, what do you want to hear about immigration?
Everything. It's kind of like, one of the great things is that you guys are going to hear from a fabulous coworker of mine by the name of Meredith Gundrum, who is speaking on that immigration panel, because immigration is such a huge proponent and such a huge part of our mobility program and our focus. So we actually have, a subject matter expert. And what's great is Gabby kind of reached out. This is one of the wonderful things about participating on these boards, is that, Gabby is like, hey, I need to talk to people about immigration, and I want to put up this panel on immigration. And I was like, hey, you should probably talk to Meredith. I didn't give Meredith like a call or a text or anything saying, hey, listen, I gave Gabby your phone number. So I ended up being on a corporate meeting, a big corporate executive meeting for our entire HR community. And our CHRO basically announced, oh, congratulations to Meredith, who's speaking publicly at the MRC. And I'm like, yay, because I didn't know.
Oh, well, it worked.
Yeah, we're all putting great panels together. We're all working individually to put together just a fantastic program. And that's kind of what programming is all about. It's not necessarily doing everything, because there is no person. I've been on several different boards over several years in my career, and here on the Wisconsin ERC for about 4 years now, 4.5 years, since I pretty much came to Wisconsin. And then previous to that, I was on the board, actually co-chair of the programming committee for the Southeastern Regional Relocation Council down in Florida. Fantastic group there as well. And so that was kind of the thing about programming, is that it's not done in any kind of a silo. It is reaching out to all of the people that we know and say, hey, listen, we're thinking that this might be a great idea, or who's got ideas for panels? What would you like to hear? Reaching out to our corporate counterparts, reaching out to our vendor, counterparts, and saying, what do you guys want to hear about? So one of the sessions I'm really excited about is talking about technology, and talking about, in particular, business process automation.
Ooh.
And I'm excited about that one because it's agnostic when it comes to what you do and what your company does. So it can be utilized by the vendors, it can be utilized by corporate employees and corporate participants as well. And we can all, I think, learn something about how to automate tasks and how to, we're going to use a Grant Thornton case study. And anyway, we're going to learn about how we've done business process automation in our company, and hope to share with you guys some ideas and thoughts around, business process automation. What does that mean? Because, we're not tech people. We
Right.
know people.
But we all have business processes that need to be streamlined and more
Exactly.
efficient. We're all being tasked with doing more, right? And so
Doing more with less. Yep,
Yeah.
exactly.
That's
So when we
fascinating.
talk about kind of like, what are you going to get out of it? What's the WIFM? What's in it for me? There's so much learning, but I'll also tag onto something that Matt said earlier, and Pam, I think you echo this as well, quite heavily. It's the networking, because I may not have or learn something that I need right in the moment from these sessions, but I learn and I get to know Pam and I get to know Matt. And I ended up reaching out to Matt going, hey, I'm really struggling with, getting credit for, having our international perm transfers build credit in the United States. Do you have any resources from Huntington Bank? And, things like that. So I'll reach out to some of these experts, because this is how I'm building the program. And we may not have an existing relationship. We may have an existing relationship, but in the end, I'm reaching out to the subject matter experts. I'm reaching out to the people who have kind of been there, done that. Yeah. And that's been something that has helped me in my career for the past 10 years. Yeah. Helped me grow is to learn from all of these people who have been here so much longer than I have.
Jodi, you've always done such a good job with that, though, Jodi, because I remember, back when I was in the moving industry, I think you reached out about a household goods question. I mean, you really do take stock of your network and say, how can I leverage these folks, their information, right? And I think it's a wonderful example for the kinds of partnerships. Like when these things work at their best, that's what they look like, So I think, kudos to you. And I think it's great to share, because I think that I love those moments, and I love what you're talking about here. So this is awesome. And you know what else I love too about this business process automation idea too? When I've looked at programming for regionals and at the national level, and I look at the sessions that get the best feedback, it's usually ones that are less specific around updates in our industry and news and information about our industry, and more things that either inspire or equip people with new skills that they can bring back and be more effective in their jobs. And so I think it's really good to have a balance of both. I mean, obviously we have to also be the conduit of information for our industry, but to also remember that we're skilling the people that come out here so they can be better professionals. So I love that idea about business process automation.
Well, and it's funny, Ben, when you just said that about the different sessions. So we took a poll of all the corporate attendees, corporate past attendees, and what topics they'd like to hear about. And so that's how we came up with topics. And one area was, it focused on automation. Jodi came forward on that for us with a session to help us, present that. But another was on professional development from a corporate standpoint. Mm-hmm. So we have Lauren Herring from the Impact Group from St. Louis. She's coming in and doing this whole session on kind of taking control of your career, kind of giving you those powerful insights of how to make, from a corporate perspective, I wish we could attend, but how to make, from a corporate perspective, how to move your ideas up through the channels. And for us on the service side, Erica is leading a session on the social view. Imagine for Erica, social, right? But it's all about LinkedIn, all the things that we can do to, be more powerful in our messages, on the social side. So outside of our standard policy pieces, like Jack and Christopher are doing a policy development area session. That's an all conference session for us. And Bill Worth is doing a view from the top to talk to some of our clients and their counterparts in talent acquisition. how they bring their messages forward. We also have those professional development
Nice.
sessions.
It sounds like you've really covered all the bases there. Those are some fantastic programs.
Yeah, it's fun. The group we have works tirelessly, but what we do is we try to make it fun. I'll be honest, it is a lot of work, but when you see it at the end, it's kind of like when you're planning a wedding, right? You plan it for months and months and months, and the day is here and you're like, oh, it's over. But at least you have the crescendo leading up to it, which we're in right now with 2-3 weeks. It's going to be here.
That's wonderful. And you talk about corporate involvement, and that's obviously so critical to the health and success of our regional events and our conferences. How do you get that kind of corporate engagement? And Jodi, I'll ask you this question. How do we do the best job engaging with our corporate partners?
So surprisingly enough, I think that COVID actually helped with this. And there's a reason for that. Is because one of the challenges of being in a corporate environment is that you often don't have a lot of money to travel. You guys, a lot of the vendor side have been, with the exception of you, Ben, you have your companies kind of pay your travel because you're doing business development, you're meeting with clients, potential clients, things like that. On the corporate side, we don't necessarily have that. And so budgets are sometimes tight. The benefit of the regional groups in particular is you get that in-person activity in your area. So it's very easy for me to hop on the train and go down to Chicago. It's very easy for me to drive down to the West in Milwaukee. It's very easy for me to, head out to Geneva, Lake Geneva, and do the walking tour. Freeze my rear end off. You should have seen me. I was wearing a coat that made me look like a sausage. I didn't care. I was warm.
You looked
great.
Adorable. You looked nice.
Yeah, well, it was like big hood. All I cared about was being warm.
Oh yeah.
But it gets me out and gets me networking with those local participants and those sometimes not local participants, but those are really, really beneficial. Where we can attend and where we are able to build a business case for attendance that might be a little further out is when we can do things like participate on a corporate benchmarking panel or on a corporate, panel where we can talk over with other corporate individuals about, hey, this is what our program is. This is what the struggles that we're having, and share ideas with each other. That helps really build a great business case. The education sessions also really help build a business case for us to be able to justify to our headquarters and to our, leaders. This is a good spend. This is a good place for me to go and get additional insights into what I do in particular. So similar to any HR person with who maybe participates in SHRM or SHRM programming or local SHRM groups, it is the education sessions that help us build the business case. Corporates don't always see the business case from the networking, but I personally do see the business case from the networking, from a career perspective, from an educational perspective, and from a growth perspective. I learned so much from people like Pam, like Matt, like Rebecca, even like you, Ben.
Even Ben.
Sometimes I'll be honest, it's like what not to do.
Right, fair enough.
No, I'm teasing. You've got a great, network and your ability to talk to people and get everybody in the same room and get everybody excited and things like that. Those are those things that I kind of like watch from this program, Love and Relo, from your GLOMO activities. And I learned from that. It helps me remember. Shockingly, I'm not an extrovert. I just play one on TV. Anyway, and it just remembers to make sure that I get outside and how I can help bring all the people together at the table, get everybody talking, get everybody on the same page. That is a lot of what we do in mobility, especially in corporate mobility, is we help solve problems. You know, we have challenges within the organization, and we are meant to bring everybody together and build solutions and help facilitate our employees' movement. And so we rely on our vendors, and we rely on all of the things that we learn in these sessions to help us come up with ideas to do that.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I love hearing your perspective here. And we've got people in the comments here who are also kind of just chiming in. Jodi and Pam, you ladies are looking fantastic.
Thank you.
Awesome. Spot on, Jodi. The conference is an incredible business case. Great value. You know, I've got, and then Amy, wow, such well-rounded education sessions. I'm torn on which ones to attend. They all sound to me. Are some of them at the same time? I heard concurrent. I think that's what it means.
Yes,
okay.
That's what it means. That's
always learning, lifetime learner over here.
That's our programming term. That's our technology. Right. Yes,
thank
terminology.
You. So okay, so we do have to choose. Now I do have a question though. So you have these wonderful benchmarking sessions for corporate folks, and I know us suppliers are not allowed in the room.
Ew.
We don't get to be in the room where it happens. Okay, that's fine. But I always
anyway.
I always wondered though, do you ever report out on that in maybe a general sense or something so that we can all benefit from it?
Very good point. Well, actually, during lunch on Friday, the second day, Tracy Toth, who we all know, Tracy was with McDonald's and is now with Worldwide ERC. She's going to be attending the corporate roundtable because she's from her corporate side of her hat, her past hat. And then she's going to be reporting out during lunch on Friday. And she'll also be giving us an update on Worldwide ERC and some updates there. But you're exactly right. When we could hear just not the specifics, of course, but the general topics, just to give us a feel from the service provider side of what's been discussed, that's invaluable. So we did include that. Yep. We covered everything
just
then.
For those folks in corporate who are like, oh, I don't want to share my program information. It's not about sharing your program information. It's about sharing just topics. What are your big concerns? What are the problems that you are trying to solve? And not, oh, I relocate 200 people a year, and our focus area is, South America, and we're trying to get people into Brazil. It's not about those details. It is really about, hey, they're trying to focus on real estate issues in developing countries. It's kind of really that type of high level report out. But that, again, from my perspective as a corporate, I think that's absolutely valuable. It helps us take back information on what the problems are our compatriots are trying to solve. Gives us ideas for what we could potentially offer solutions to. If maybe it's not an issue that we're dealing with now, but again, we kind of file it away in our head and say, oh, hey, I'm going to pick on Erica. Hey, Erica, I'm dealing with this. I heard you talk about that in the corporate benchmarking session, last year at MRC. Do you have any ideas that might be able to help me? What did you do to fix that problem? And, we leverage and we lean on each other and can lean on each other. Right? And we can lean on each other and reach out to each other to get that information. Or even just, a quick post in LinkedIn saying, hey, I was in the corporate benchmarking session at MRC last year. Somebody talked about this. Can you guys remember who? Sometimes it's not about remembering, but it's about making sure that you reach out to those individuals that can share some of those ideas and help you solve problems and come up with solutions.
Well, and I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Pam. No, Pam.
I was just going to build on what Jodi is so spot on. And I think from the service partner side of it is, we all know that our industry, our business is all about relationships. The more people you get to know, the more connections you make, whether it be on the corporate side or the service partners, our friends in the industry, you just reap what you sow. So I think sometimes from the service partner side, I think there's a thought process of I'm going to that regional meeting or that conference because I'm going to get in front of those corporate attendees. And we all realize that's kind of old school. We don't act in that manner. We're there to build our relationships, not only with our, we probably have more relationships with our competitors in the industry sometimes than ones that aren't. Because, when we go into those rooms, we're all in the same industry, in the same boat, and just there to learn from one another, whatever the side of the fence we're on.
It's a big, weird boat.
It is a
It's a
weird boat.
big weird boat, and we're all on it. All
We got
right?
life jackets, so we're good.
We have a lot of fun,
We do.
This
We
is
do.
great. Jennifer Rodriguez, by the way, is called back to something we were talking about before. She brings up, if you're taking the CRP, you must take the CRC CRP class.
Yes, I was going to mention that to Amy Yount. In fact, I'm one of the presenters, the teachers for that class.
Oh, wow.
And so it is through the CRC. We've done it for many years. Amy, I will send you a link to the class. It's virtual and in person, so reasonable. And we have such a high success rate of individuals who have, taken the review class after they've read their materials. So if you are, or if anybody knows of someone, pass on our link.
I love it. I love it. I'm going to do something I've never done before.
Uh-oh.
I know. Scary, right?
It is.
Anyway, jokes aside, I'm gonna bring our other guests back up here. Okay. I'm gonna bring Matt back on, and I'm going to we just got Matt? That's fine. That's all we need. Justice League. All right. Two things. Jodi, are you Justice League or Avengers, by the way, Jodi?
Are you talking, am I Marvel or DC? Or
Yeah, I am talking that. Because
Okay.
Matt made a Justice League reference, and I just wanted to make sure, Jodi, that we're on
I
the same
am
page.
all
online.
things geek.
Mhm.
And so Justice League, Avengers, I like my strong female characters. You have to remember, we talked the top 5 of, the LGBTQ superheroes.
Yes.
We did that Love and Relo one time. I loved that. I still remember that. Still think about it fondly. But yeah, I am all things geek all the time.
All right, we're gonna have to. Then I want you to weigh in on this, because we're gonna do two things here as a final touch here, going around the horn. I would like to know from each of you if Wisconsin ERC was a superhero, which superhero would it be?
Ooh.
And you know what, Matt? I'm gonna start with you, Matt. Okay,
All right.
because Matt gave me the cheese like that. Okay, he
I've
gave me
got
the
one
cheese
for you.
emoji like that. So I'm gonna start with you, Matt, and I'll give the other ladies a chance.
I'm
to
going to
think about it.
say that it's Wolverine, one of the X-Men, also
Ooh.
part of the Avengers sometimes. He knows how to be laid back and approachable and enjoy a beverage, an adult beverage sometimes, but he also knows how to get the job done. And that's definitely Wisconsin ERC. We have fun, we get all of the job done, and we have a good time doing it. So it's Wolverine for sure.
I don't know.
that's-
Wolverine's a little bit of a, I'm not going to say Wolverine.
Oh,
He's kind of,
What?
you have to
Descent.
I mean,
remember, he's
what?
very
He's kind of
taciturn.
hairy. What?
No, I'm
he's swarthy. Isn't Wisconsin known for their swarthiness? I don't know.
well.
Jodi, counter. What superhero is Wisconsin ERC?
Okay, so it's really funny because if you remember the cartoon, what's everybody's favorite cartoon superhero family? Do you guys remember?
No.
The cartoon
Oh,
superhero family from
The-
Yes.
mom and dad and the 2 kids?
Yes.
Yes.
The Incredibles?
The Incredibles.
Incredibles.
Yes.
Do you remember in the Incredibles, I can't remember if it was 2 or 3, but they had brought in all of these other superheroes. And I laugh to this day because there was one really big, didn't say much superhero. And they were like, hey, where are you from? And he's like, Wisconsin. I'm like,
Oh
we
my
have
goodness.
our own superhero. It's that
Didn't
guy.
even realize it.
His name.
Can somebody put a link to this Incredibles Wisconsin cameo superhero We
Love
need a
it.
link. We need a name. Put it in the comments, please.
Yeah, I can't
We
remember
need
his
it.
name, but I
Oh,
love that
gosh.
because I was like, look, Wisconsin
Brilliant.
has our own superhero.
Representation. Perfect.
Exactly. It
Brilliant.
matters. But I think if we would probably be a little bit more The Incredibles rather than Avengers or Marvel, because, you know, we're a little bit more laid back. We're completely real. Not saying that it's not a cartoon, but we're very real, and there are moms and dads, and you know, we all have our families and our family struggles, and I think that I just tend to feel a little bit closer to The Incredibles when it comes to that.
Then I'm going to flip this around and say, if Wisconsin ERC is The Incredibles, who is Baby Jack?
Matt.
That's Baby Jack. I love it.
Matt, because he constantly is everywhere, and he keeps changing forms, and and every once in a while he explodes, and we have to calm him down. We give him cookies on occasion to get him to do things.
That sounds pretty spot on.
That's great. That's fabulous. Pam, would you like to weigh in with a superhero?
How can I top
Tim.
I don't know.
Posted it. Tim posted it. I just saw
love it. Look
there
at
it
Tim.
is. I see it. Thank you, Tim.
Brick.
Oh, how
Brick
funny.
from Wisconsin.
How could I top that? You know, but I have to just say, my answer to any favorite superhero, I'm sorry, is whoever Robert Downey Jr. is. Iron Man.
Iron Man.
He could say anything. He could do anything. He looks good. He talks good. My answer is always.
I love it. If you're watching this right now, you've got 3 amazing options to pick from. Put it in the comments. Who do you vote for? Which superhero is Wisconsin ERC? This is beautiful. While the votes flood in right now, I want to ask you all to leave us with just a final thought as we sign off today. Let's go kind of in reverse order there. Jodi, would you like to start us off?
I would love to see everybody at MRC or any of the events that we do regionally. And if you can't come to participate, I would just say reach out to your local regional group and start to participate locally, because, you know, we get it. Sometimes we can't travel. I'm just happy to see everybody in person again.
Wonderful. Yeah, me too. Pam, final thought?
I would say the same. You know, it's so exciting to finally be in person now that we didn't tolerate being virtual, and we still are, of course, in many cases. But I'm hoping that you can attend MRC or one of our local group events. Again, it's just so good to be back in person and seeing everybody again. So hope to see you there.
Certainly. Yeah, I can't wait. I'm officially coming now.
Yay.
Don't tell my wife. All right, Matt.
Yeah, I definitely echo both of what they said, because I think that MRC is a great option if you can take the time off, you can afford to come. Wisconsin ERC is also such an affordable option for the quarterly events that we have. So if you're in the area, it's one of the biggest priorities that we have is making it accessible to the local people that are around. So if you're corporate, it's always free. But if you are a service provider, we try to keep it very low cost for what you're coming and doing for the educational piece and the networking component. And I would just say also at the end of this year, at our December meeting, we always have a rollover of our board, and we have some opportunities that are coming available. And I would love to see people get involved and participate. I mean, one of the best things I ever did was come on board, not even really knowing what was needed, when Rebecca and I were talking one day, and half of the battle is really showing up. And I've learned so much, like Jodi talked about, and like Pam has talked about, and Rebecca. And I'm so grateful to everyone on this board, because they have all taught me so much more that I know now than I did when I first came in. And that's what it's all about. It's professional growth. It's getting out of your comfort zone. And I think that there is such an opportunity for everybody to do that with these regional groups. And it really just makes you better all around. And that's what I will leave with.
I love it. Everybody leave a virtual round of applause for our wonderful panel. Hit that applause button, hit that like button in there, leave it in the comments, leave the love. I thank you all so much. This was wonderful. I cannot wait to see you, Pam, Jodi, Matt, in Milwaukee.
I love it.
There's Rick from Wisconsin.
It's Matt.
Oh, wow. Splendid. Thank you, producer Tim and Stacy, for keeping it fun up here. And thanks to everyone who tuned in today. We wouldn't have a show without you. So thank you all for being here, hitting that like button, getting super active in the comments. I love you all. Thank you so much. And I can't wait to see you all in Milwaukee. Thanks, everybody. Take care.
MRC.